Hello my friends from the internet, Survive with Knife here. I have not done a video in quite some time. I have been outdoors. I just haven't been really that motivated to create a video. So I should get back into the swing of things here. So I thought, hey, why not? Why don't I just go ahead and show my knife, my folding knife collection in this case. I'll show my fixed blades later on. My fixed blade collection is probably about as large. Don't have a huge collection, but these are the knives that the folding knives that I have. So I just thought I'd go through them and show the ones that I have. I know a lot of you guys have much larger collections than this, but this is enjoyable to me. It allows me to open up my knife drawer in the morning and make a decision on what I'm going to carry that day and what I'm going to fondle while I'm have my legs propped up on the desk at work and I'm talking to a customer. Often I'm flipping a knife, so each day I make a decision on which one I'm going to be flipping for that day and using. So without further ado, let's just go through what I have here. This is probably this is my most expensive knife. This is the Zero Tolerance 301. I've done reviews on this before. I love this knife. Interestingly enough, it hasn't been in my EDC rotation quite as much recently. It's been some others. I'll show you some of them that have been more popular to me lately. But I do like this knife. However, it is on the heavier side. So, weight isn't usually that big of a deal for me. But I do find this one actually sitting in the drawer more than some of the others lately. So here's another one that's become more popular for me. I've had this one for quite a while. This is its smaller brother. This is the Zero Tolerance 350. Love this knife. I've been carrying it again recently. Keeps a great edge with that S30V steel. Here's a knife that finally had to get myself into the Benchmade world. This is the only Benchmade that I have. This is the Griptillian, and I like this one. I've been carrying this, so quite happy with it. Nice smooth opening. It's got the axis lock there, so enjoy that knife. This knife here, this is the cold steel, what's it called, the Bushman, I believe? Yes, pocket Bushman actually. I do have the fixed blade knife that comes with this in its family. This here is not in an EDC rotation. This rides in my man purse. I have a video on my man purse. This here knife is the one that rides in there for emergency survival use. Here is probably one of my most popular EDC knives recently, and this is the Paramilitary 2, probably one of the most popular knives out there. Very, very popular, and since I got it, I can see why. Great S30V steel blade, just comes out. Compression lock there, makes easy one-hand operation. Love this knife. This is probably the one that's in my pocket the most recently. The next one here, another Spyderco, is the famous Tenacious. It's also very popular. I have two versions of this one, both the OD Green, which I did a review on, and the black. Great knife, probably one of the best bangs for your dollar out there. Here is the Tenacious's big brother, the Resilience. just a beast. Really, once again, just like the Tenacious, awesome knife. I've got it waved there with zip tie mod. So when you whip this out of your pocket, most people around you will urinate a little bit. Great knife. It's a great knife to make the in-laws gasp. Here is another good one. This is from the Spyderco Cara line, or the Bryd line actually. This is the Cara II, I believe. And I have two versions of this. This is with the FRN, or fiber reinforced nylon. Yeah, this is the Cara II. Great knife also. 8CR13 MOV, just like the Tenacious and the Resilience. Here's the Cara II with G10. If you get the Cara II, I recommend that you get the one with G10. It's just a better knife, but a great knife. About a month or two ago, I was back into carrying this again a little bit. I need to start carrying this again. It's a good knife. Here's one that I did a review on. Love this knife. I waited and waited for this knife. I was on several waiting lists. The Kershaw Knockout. I'll probably be getting the piston here soon. But this is the Knockout. Love this knife. This one, I've been EDCing this recently quite a bit. This is the Smith & Wesson 24/7. Not a very impressive knife. Doesn't hold an edge very well, and I think it cost me all of like maybe $10. So does not have a reversible pocket clip. I don't think I've ever EDC'd this knife. Maybe one day. Here's one of my very first knives. This is the Twitch II by SOG. I don't really carry it anymore because I carry bigger knives. So very sharp though, great Aus-8 blade there with a full flat grind. This would be good as a second knife. Usually like my main EDC blade to be larger, so this would never be a primary or an only knife. Here we have the SOG Mini Trident. I don't usually EDC this regularly in my regular EDC. This here knife, since it's so light, if I go running, this goes in my running shorts, because it just doesn't create much of a presence. If you ever, if you go running and you've got like basketball shorts or something, or running shorts, if you have anything too heavy, it's going to really swing in your pockets. This does not. So I do like it for that, but I just don't think it has the strength for what I want with everyday carry. Here's one that I don't carry too often, but every once in a while I'll still carry it. This is the Bar Dozier. Well, I'm not a big fan of lockbacks, so while that does open pretty smoothly, it's got an Aus-8 blade, pretty sharp. The coating is something to be desired. It's basically just a paint-on coating. It's not like a DLC or coating like that. So this is going to wear off on you pretty well, actually. Kind of like probably about the same type of coating as the Ontario Rat series. Coating on that was pretty poor. Here's one of my first knives also. This is the Kershaw Volt. I recently carried this again a little bit. This has kind of been out of the rotation for a little while. This is a good knife though. It's got a good, very zippy, speed safe assisted opening. Keeps a pretty good edge with that 8CR13 MOV steel. I like this knife. one of my my first larger size knives. This was one of my first knives. This is the Kershaw Scallion. Once again, it's not big enough for me anymore for what I call a primary EDC blade, because my EDC blades, I want them to also be able to be used in tactical type situation. So you want something a little bigger, a little bit more reach. But I have removed the pocket clip from this because it's very thin. So if I am somewhere where I can't, like dress pants or something, I'll toss this this blade into my pocket and just not clip it. And I'll use that instead of a larger knife. So if I'm wearing dress pants or something, I might be carrying this. And here's another knife that I really like. It's the CRKT. It's the only CRKT I have, but I really like it. It's the Drifter. I actually think it's 8CR14 MOV, not 13. I could be wrong about that though. But actually keeps a pretty good edge, pretty light. It is thicker than the Scallion, but I've removed the pocket clip from this one for the same purpose. That way I can carry it in the bottom of my pocket, and you know, it's pretty discreet that I have a knife. Now, this next one is technically not a folding knife, but this is the Lightning. And I'll tell you what, for $30, it's the only OTF that I have, but for $30, it's pretty impressive. It is a chisel ground blade. You notice there's no grinding on that side, just on that one there. And it is serrated. I kept looking and looking for this knife, and I wanted it in plain edge, but I just could not find it. So finally I went with, I saw they were available again on Blade HQ with the serrated, so I just went ahead and just bought a serrated because I wanted an OTF. And I have to say I'm pretty happy with it. If I do see another one, if they become available again, I'll probably get a black with a plain edge. But this, I mean, for $30, you just cannot beat that. I believe it's probably, not sure on the steel on it, but I believe it's probably 440C. Here's another blade that I have been EDCing. This is the Buck Vantage. I've had this knife for quite a while. It's a little sluggish in opening, but if you do flip it well, if you give it a good hard flip, it'll lock up. It's got a hollow ground blade on it. It's pretty nice. It's pretty sharp. So, okay, here we come into two of. I think this would fall in the category of the Tenacious line when it comes to, you know, good value and quality. And this is the Ontario Rat One. I've got two of these because I like them so well. Typically these are, I consider these my outdoor hiking knives. I've got two of them. The green one was actually originally a black coated blade, and like I said, that black coating came off pretty easily. So I actually Duracoated the blade for a while, and then I decided I was going to stonewash it. So I stripped the Duracoat off, and I stonewashed everything on the knife, including the liners, everything actually. Stonewashed everything, and it came out very nice. It has an amazingly sharp, reprofiled the edge on it. It's extremely sharp. I use this as an outdoor knife, hiking and things like that. That actually ends my main folding knives. I'll go with, before I get to the multi-tools, I guess I do have my multi-tools here also, considering the fact that they do have a folding knife in them. Here is the, I've done a review on this. This is the Victorinox Farmer. Love that knife. With has the saw in it and a pretty good sized knife blade, so this is a great outdoor knife too. This is a lot of times in my bushcraft kit. I carry that. Here is a knife that I carry every day. This is the Victorinox Cadet, and it's very thin, and if I'm somewhere where I don't want to whip out my main blade and I don't want to create a scene or anything, I'll use this. Or if I'm doing something that I don't want to use my main blade for, I'll use the Victorinox Cadet. Just a good all-around little knife to carry. Here's one that I used to carry. I don't carry it very much. It's actually on my in my EDC man purse. It's a backup knife I carry in there. This is the Victorinox Officer, I believe. Okay, this here is one of my childhood knives. That's probably I think I probably lost, I don't know how many knives as a child, but this is one that I think I had probably when I was 10 or 11 years old, and I still have it. Here's another one from my childhood. It's a knockoff little Victorinox, and here's an actual Victorinox. I used to carry this on my keychain. This has been replaced with the Spyderco bug, which I carry on my keys. Okay, now with the little multi-tools, the PS4 Squirt. This is the second one I've had because I lost my first one. Love this thing, carry this every day, use this all the time. So instead of carrying a larger multi-tool, this here has really been satisfactory for me, at least in the job that I have. It's definitely enough multi-tool for me. But if that's not enough, my man purse has the Leatherman Wave on it, so this is always close by, at least somewhere. This is an awesome multi-tool. And then I have the Leatherman Blast. This one sits in my bug out bag, so it's not used very much, but another great multi-tool. And this one here, I don't even know the brand. I think it's Greatland. This was one I found when I was camping one time. So I have used it before, but not the greatest. It definitely doesn't match up to the Leathermans, but okay, well that is my folding knife and also my multi-tool collection, and I will definitely be adding to it, but it's really, you know, I've got an addiction. Those of you other knife enthusiasts out there, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. You're fondling your knife all day long, and in the morning it's just great to, I've got a cabinet right by the door to exit from our place, and I've got a drawer in there where I have all my knives laid out, and in the morning, you know, I'll open it up and I'll be like, so what knife am I going to carry today? So I'll pick one out. I do tend to get into a rut. I'll carry maybe the same knife for a couple weeks or maybe a month, and then I'll finally retire it and go to a different one. But yeah, it's an addiction, guys. So let me know what you guys think of my my small collection, and you guys have a great day. What's it going to be for today? I'll go with the Knockout today.